Everyone is Invited is a group and social movement that has just appeared on the internet in the public consciousness. It is trying to expose rape culture. In the last couple of years, sex abuse was relegated to only the private elite schools, especially the Catholic Benedictine, St. Benedict's, Ampleforth and Downside. Ampleforth taking a severe beating at the moment. That was the first punch. Then it moved to elite private schools. Now, Latimer, Dulwich, Wellington, Westminster, St. Paul's and Eton are also in the firing line. The Catholics must be rubbing their hands together and thanking God that it's not just them. Now it has extended to state schools. It seems to be very much girls speaking out against boys and very, very few boys speaking out themselves. In the testimonies, I saw only 3 boys speaking out. 2 of those boys were assaulted by girls. The third boy was assaulted by another boy. I want to draw your attention to one of the testimonies from one of the brave boys. He says, "I don't mean to undermine any girl's story on here because anything that happens to them must be horrible." Then he goes on to state what happened to him. The first thing he does is apologize to the girls that he is speaking up, as if what happened to him is less important than what is happening to girls. That's my point of view. That's how I read this. Why is he thinking like this? Why does he need to make that statement, that opening statement? And how many other boys also think alike? Boys in general don't come forward. They feel guilty. They feel bad. Not only have they been raped or sexually abused, often it is a homosexual act going against their own sexual nature. The Me Too movement has already shown men to be predators, Harvey Weinstein being one of them. Then Jenny Jones, formerly called Baroness Jones of Malsicum, suggested a 6 p.m. curfew for men to make women a lot safer on the streets of London. I'm starting to get a feeling a finger is being pointed at masculinity, and on this website is definitely not being pointed at men, but definitely at boys. How did the boys become like this? Let's put some stuff in order here. Many children are exposed to hardcore porn, which inverts the sacredness of sex and normalizes abuse. Those porn films aren't done without women. Women participate in them. Is it possible we could please ask the women to be responsible for what they're doing in porn films, and maybe perhaps question if third wave feminism has actually got its thinking in order, stating that women doing this freely is empowering themselves. Looking at this site, Everyone is Invited, I start to get the feeling boys and men are predators. As a man, I don't really like this. You're turning masculinity against itself. This is an attack on masculinity. 1 in 5 girls are sexually abused and 1 in 20 boys are sexually abused. That's from victimsofcrime.org, sexual abuse statistics. This site is not proportional, and the moderators need to be careful the percentage of females that are being put up versus that of boys. The second boy's account states consent goes both ways, making it clear that it is not only women that suffer, but also men. Why are male children here having to defend themselves for speaking out? Why do they feel that they have to excuse themselves or state this is also happening to boys? What is the general social consensus that is appearing in the boys' heads? The white elephant in the room is that boys feel guilty to speak out. They feel they need to defend themselves if they do, and point to the fact that this sexual abuse is not a one-sided gender issue.